Welcome to another episode of the Palm Springs Baker. You know, Palm Springs has really become famous for its party girls. Now, when I say girls, you've got to work with me a little bit. Click your heels and get your rear end out of Kansas and get here to Palm Springs where it's really happening. You're gonna meet girls that really know how to party. And one of them is right here with us today. Please welcome Tommi Rose. Tommi, it's so great to have you here.
Oh, thank you, Chuck. I'm so delighted to be here.
Oh my God, you are one of the forerunners of the art of drag. And we are just so pleased to have you.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
Oh. And where did you start?
Originally, I started in my home state of Florida.
Okay.
I was 17. It was the bicentennial weekend, 1976.
Okay.
And my family had gone away to one of the grandparents' house in Alabama, which we did every summer. I was the oldest of all the kids, and I convinced my mom, with the help of my dad, he agreed that I was old enough to stay by myself.
There you go. He trusted you.
So he left me one of the cars.
Now, what kind of show was it?
It was a drag show.
Okay,
drag
all
show.
right.
And when the show was over, the hostess came out and she says, "Now listen, kids," she said, "you know, every year on 4th of July, we have our Miss Firecracker competition. It's the Miss Firecracker Bicentennial, and normally it's a $100 prize. This was $500.
Oh my gosh.
And they said, "Oh, we should all do it. Let's do it for fun." Because they said, you know, you don't have to have any experience. All of the showgirls are in the back. They're going to help you with your makeup. Okay. So all of our friends, we said, yeah, let's all go do it. So she walks over and she says, "Well, hi, how are you?" I said, "Well, I'm good, thank you." She said, "You're going to join our contest?" I said, "Yes, me and my friends." And she went, and I turn around, and I swear to God, Chuck, it was like somebody had turned the lights on in an infested kitchen, and the roaches went. It was before the days we had the word ghosting. The bitches left me high and dry.
Oh, they did.
High and dry.
And there you were.
There I was.
One-man show.
Well, shit. Pardon me.
No. Hey.
I was the only one that did anything comedy, and the contest started at midnight, and at 1:30 in the morning on 4th of July, I was crowned Miss Firecracker 1976.
You know, and from there on, you played how many different places and names?
Oh my
what are
goodness.
some? You've been all over.
We did Finocchio's. I worked for Evening at La Cage San Francisco, La Cage Los Angeles, La Cage Las Vegas, La Cage International. We did La Cage Follies in Biloxi, Mississippi on the riverboats. We were at the Imperial Palace.
Good for Mississippi.
Yeah, we were there.
Now here in Palm Springs.
I moved here to retire. I didn't know what I was going to do because I was, you know, out of the country for 3 years on a desert island in the Caribbean. Where do you go? I started the show at Toucan's. I went down there when they opened. So I showed up in full drag in this lime green sequin two-piece suit that I got from Bob Mackie. I walked in to the club. I started spinning all this old disco music from the 70s, and these old queens jumped up and hit the floor, and they said, "Can you do this every night?" So I ended up becoming the DJ. And then after several months, I said, "Hey, could I put a show in?" They said, "Well, we've seen drag and none we've seen is any good." I said, "Let me show you what I can do." So they gave me a Sunday night, August 25th of 2002.
Okay.
Sunday night. I had some friends come in. The show was called Tommi and Friends.
Oh.
The place was packed.
I'm sure.
Before the first show was even done, he came backstage, Jason and Eddie, the original owners, said, "Can you do this every Sunday?" I said, "Give me a budget." They said, "Give me a number." I did, and they met it.
There you go.
And 20 years later, I'm still here.
Still doing it.
And I'm also,
and you're
you know,
being modest. You pack them in that place. Oh my
well,
God.
between there and then I do Oscars with Dan Gore, who I've also worked in his show.
I know.
Yeah.
You brought your recipe for that delicious buttermilk chocolate cake.
I did.
And we're going to go over in the kitchen
Now
and
this,
whip it
yes,
up.
and I'll tell you the story where that came from.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.
We will. So Tommi, here
Yes.
we are in my kitchen.
Lovely kitchen.
Well, thank you, thank you. And you have a very lovely recipe. I love it for two reasons, Tommi. Not only does it look delicious when it's done, I've seen pictures, but It's so easy to make.
It's very simple, and everything happens and it moves very quickly.
I
What's
love-
nice is I can have dinner guests while having a conversation, and we'll be talking, and I'll be cooking dinner, and I'll be doing the cake at the same time. And when dinner's done, I said, "Who wants dessert?" And they said, "Oh, what do you have?" And I said, "Well, you saw me make it." I was like,
So-
"When did you make it?" I was like, "Well, we were talking."
So not only can you chew gum and walk, you can bake and walk
Absolutely.
and host a dinner party. Honey, you are a showman.
I do what I have to.
Oh my God. So we've got 2 cups of sugar and
Yes.
2 cups of flour.
Correct.
I already put that in there for you.
We're going to mix the flour and the sugar just very lightly. We're
Very
mixing
good.
here by hand, but you can also use a mixer if you prefer. Then we have a little bit of, we have our,
Baking soda.
our little baking soda. Now
Yes.
remember, it's baking soda, not baking powder.
That's right.
There is a very big difference in the
Gotta
two
have a
when it
little
comes
bit of
to
that
cooking.
salt.
It does.
It's all about the chemistry, right?
Right, and then we have a half a cup of buttermilk and then a teaspoon of vanilla.
There we go.
Now, while this has been mixing, on the stove behind us, we have got the rest of the
I'll get that
combination.
for us.
Now it's 2 sticks of butter, a cup of water, and the 6
Can you
tablespoons.
get high just from sort of like sniffing this?
Well, you know, cocoa is from the.
Oh my God, honey, are you sure this is legal?
Well, this one is because it's from Hershey.
Oh, okay. I'll do that
Now, this
for
is going to
you.
be a very runny mixture,
Okay.
and we're going to get everything
I'll
mixed up.
get it all in there for you, Tommy.
Nice and quick.
Oh my
and you don't
God.
even need to rinse the pot because we're going to use this in a few minutes to use the frosting because part of that gets
love
cooked
that.
as well.
One less pan to
That's it.
clean up after. Have you always been kind of a chocoholic?
You know, it's funny, when it comes to chocolate cake, I hate chocolate cake.
Oh, you do?
Just to eat a chocolate cake, I've never been a fan of
How
chocolate
about
at
like
all.
chicken? Do you like your meat white, dark, whatever?
I'm not commenting,
Oh.
but thank you. We're going to pour this in right now in a metal pan. The metal pan or glass pan, whichever you prefer. Now, if you're just doing this at home for yourself and your family or friends, by all means, use whatever pan you prefer. But this is one of those cakes, actually, it does not turn out. And turn out, I don't mean the recipe doesn't turn out. The cake actually, once it's baked, does not turn out onto a platter or anything like that. 20 minutes in a 400 oven.
All right.
And don't overcook it.
We'll
so
put
we're
it
gonna
in
pop
there.
this sucker right in
There
here,
we
just
go.
like that. And that is in. While that's cooking, we can go ahead and start mixing up our frosting.
We'll do that next.
We will indeed.
So Tommy, we've got the cake in the oven,
Yes.
and now it's time to make that luscious, fabulous frosting of yours.
This cocoa fudge frosting is so simple and it's so delicious, you will want to use it on other
And there's
things.
like, what, 3 ingredients, or if that?
4.
4. Well,
This is 6 tablespoons of the cocoa. You're going to get all that in and mix this in real nice. And this is going to be very thin, but you're going to see the reason why it needs to be.
okay.
If you're diabetic, you need to double up on your insulin.
Unless you want to go into a little coma
It will
type
put
of
you
thing.
into a diabetic coma.
Well,
yes,
it'd
it
be
will.
one less martini then, right?
But the good thing is, if you have a cholesterol issue,
Yeah.
there are no eggs in this recipe, and now it's $6 a dozen. It's a good thing.
It's a good thing. You are just an economist, kiddo. We're going to let you just get that all stirred up, and
All
we'll be right
right.
back with the vanilla.
There we go.
But I'm going to pour in 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and Tommy just told me that the caps on vanilla actually are made to be 1 teaspoon. I
That's
love
right.
that.
1
You
capful.
are a baking encyclopedia, kiddo. We've got our
So
frosting.
we're ready to get our cake out of the oven.
We'll do that.
Okay.
So Tommy, I'm so excited because I think I smell that chocolate cake. I bet it's done.
And I believe it should be.
It's been 20 minutes.
It has been 20 minutes.
So we're gonna pull that little baby out of the oven.
oh, she's perfect.
My God, dear. Oh, but now the crowning jewel. You've got another little surprise for us.
This is a layered frosting, and you're going to want to do this. Now, this is marshmallow whipped marshmallow cream, the Kraft marshmallow cream or generic brand, whatever.
Just that crap you buy in a jar, right?
You buy in a jar.
Oh, no.
And you're going to want to put this on right as the cake comes out of the oven because you want this to kind of melt.
This is
onto the cake.
This is over the top, people. This is over the top.
It will take it to a whole other level, and your guest will be so impressed.
And it just sort of melts into the cake.
You just kind of, you're just going to kind of spread it around until it kind of melts itself in.
And does the cake fall a little bit? Is that okay?
What happens is it doesn't really fall. The weight of the marshmallow cream on the cake while it's still warm, and then with the frosting on top, actually causes it to compress.
It compresses.
So yeah, you just
looking fabulous.
Yes, you just keep working with it. It becomes more malleable, and then you can kind of just spread it around.
And you want to take it right to the very edge.
Right to the very edge.
Yeah.
Just completely cover it up.
Ah.
So there you see we've got this spread all the way to the edge.
There you go.
So, and it's nice and good.
Tommy, that looks fabulous. Now we let that sort of cool?
No, doesn't need to cool at all. You just keep going.
Keep going?
You just keep going.
Oh my goodness,
We're
I was
going to
give you a break for a little martini, but
no, we're just going to keep this.
You just keep working, doll.
Now you see this
I'm going to watch.
This is very thin.
Yes, it is.
So we're just going to take it and we're just going to kind of drizzle it all over the cake just like this.
Do you think a little bit of my vodka mixed in there would work?
It might be pretty with the green olive on the top.
With the olive, okay.
Don't worry, we're going to get
it all. It's like chocolate lava on top of this fabulous scratch cake with the buttermilk.
And it's going to bubble up, and if some of the marshmallow comes through,
and
that's perfectly
up.
okay too.
It is. I said it was like molten lava. It is.
Take a toothpick and even kind of swirl through it and do a little design on it, which we may do. I don't know.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
See, just give it a little swirl.
Just keep working.
Or even though swirly it this way.
I love that.
So, but you see, this is why this is a in the pan dessert that you serve it from the pan.
You are just a bag full of tricks.
Oh, well.
Well, I don't mean that you're a trick, honey.
I'm not a trick.
I didn't mean that you're a trick.
No, I'm not a trick, but I've been known to haul a bag full with me wherever I go. Cheers.
So now that we've got that fabulous cake of yours done, we're gonna make these almond pear galettes. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make our own almond paste. So what's in here is almond flour, sugar, butter, an egg, some vanilla, and some almond extract. So I'm gonna just get this all fully, nicely incorporated and pull that together. We have got our almond paste all complete there. So we're just gonna set that aside right over here. And I've pre-made some pastry dough. Let's get a little flour incorporated into the dough. We have got this pretty well patted out to about 1/4 of an inch thick. We're gonna decide how big we want our galettes to be. Now I want these a little bit on the small side because this gives you a chance to make maybe a smaller dessert. You know, everyone is trying to watch their weight and all that good stuff. Pick it up. And remember that these don't have to be perfect in terms of the way they look. Now is the time to take some of our almond paste, and I'd give it a good dollop right in the center of each of these. So we're gonna pat down this almond paste a little bit, but try to keep it about 1 inch away from the edge of the dough, okay? So next, we're gonna take some of these pear slices that I pre-cut. I took my pears and I peeled them and sliced them. Try to slice them pretty thin so that you're sure they'll bake all the way through. Just do what I tell you and you won't get in any trouble, okay? So we're just gonna kind of roll that up into a little crust. Again, we want these to look rustic. You know, they're gonna look a lot more homemade. And then next, we're gonna take a little bit of egg wash and we're just gonna sprinkle this all around the pastry, as well as a little bit over the top of those pears, okay? Sprinkle a very generous coating of plain old granulated sugar, and that is it. Now we just pop these into the oven at 350 degrees for about 18 to 20 minutes. And there you go, it's that easy. So Tommy, it's time to start to taste.
Yay!
I'm so excited.
That's what makes cooking all worthwhile, is the end product.
Absolutely. Well, your chocolate buttermilk cake looks divine.
Well, thank you.
So we've got to sink our
Yours
teeth into
looks
that.
fantastic. I
Well,
was watching you make it.
We made these pear almond galettes.
I love that.
And we're going to give those a little taste as well.
Now, the one thing we did not talk about when we did the last cake, you see how this is set up nice and firm.
Yeah.
See, even the frosting.
Yeah.
Because it has cooled overnight. This is the one that was that you actually made yesterday.
I did.
You did good. Now look at those layers. See how that's layered in there?
Honest to God, kiddo, this is one of the best things I've had in my mouth. I swear to God. Tommy. So now we're going to give these almond pear galettes a little whirl, kiddo.
I can't wait to taste
How about
these.
that? You want to grab one with some, we put some ice cream on. Serve them warm with a little ice cream. And you know, the nice thing about these, as you probably saw when we made them, you can make these whatever size you want. So if you want just a little dessert, you can make small ones, you can make large ones, you can make one whole large one, you know?
And you can use other fruits besides pear.
Absolutely.
Southern, you know, peaches.
Absolutely. I've done apple. Oh, southern peaches would be fabulous.
Yes.
With a little ice cream on top. Should we give this a little taste, Tom?
I'm going in for the kill.
Okay, kiddo.
Oh my God.
You like it?
Oh, that dough.
No.
That is absolutely brilliant.
Well, as you know, I said before, I do make my own pastry dough, and it's so easy. Well, more stories the next time, Tommy.
Yes.
So meanwhile, be good, be you, and bake.